can't do those things and expect to go on the road and win, and just frustrated to not play clean football on offense, defense, and special teams. Just can't do it on the road versus a good football team, and we got to get it fixed because, you know, before you start winning, you got to stop losing. We're doing some things right now that are preventing us from winning.
Unfortunately, Cleveland Brown fans, you did not win the game today. Today might have been one of the worst games y'all done lost in a mighty long time. Everybody and their mama is extremely frustrated with Kevin Stefanski and the offense. The offense cannot get going. And I mean, at this point, Dillon Gabriel has proven he do not need to be a starter in the National Football League. He missed a ton of throws, bro.
The Cleveland Browns are in absolute crisis mode. After weeks of defending his quarterback, head coach Kevin Stefanski has finally snapped. And this time, he's not holding back. He went off on Dillon Gabriel, calling out his poor execution, sloppy decision-making, and overall inability to deliver when it matters most. And what's even more shocking? This meltdown comes right after Stefanski benched and seemingly snubbed Shedeur Sanders, the young quarterback fans have been begging to see on the field. Now the question across Cleveland isn't just about poor play. It's about accountability, trust, and redemption. Did Stefanski just admit he made the wrong call by sticking with Gabriel? Is Shedeur Sanders about to get his long-awaited shot to prove he's the real deal? Let's break it all down.
With Nick Herbig, which got him free. Wow, interesting at the end of that play.
I'm just saying, I think he is what he is. He's too small. His deep balls sail. I thought he was athletic. He looks slow. He does not look athletic. There's nothing extra. There's no juice. This will be the offense with Dillon Gabriel. This is what it's going to be. We had to be at least threaten the defense deep.
This is who Kevin wanted, though. That's the thing. Like, this is Kevin's guy. I get so frustrated watching it because, you know, a lot of times we feel like, oh, they're trying to stick a square peg into a round hole and all this stuff. Not now. He was handpicked by this regime as the number 2 guy on their draft board.
It's been building for weeks. The frustration, the mounting criticism, and the relentless pressure from fans and analysts, all pointing toward one thing. The Browns made a huge mistake when Kevin Stefanski decided to start Dillon Gabriel. Many assumed the coach had a plan, a calculated strategy that would unlock a new offensive identity. But instead, it's been chaos. The Browns' offense has sputtered, the rhythm is gone, and the locker room morale, it's fading fast. And finally, Stefanski's patience reached its breaking point. In his latest press conference, the usually composed and professional coach let it all out. He admitted publicly that Dillon Gabriel is not the solution. Those are huge words coming from a head coach who's built his reputation on discipline and loyalty. Stefanski said Gabriel has been unable to execute plays effectively. A brutally honest statement that tells you everything you need to know about what's happening inside that locker room.
Here, they put out this garbage offensive product. Congratulations, the Titans. Congratulations to the Titans. They should be very proud of themselves. They passed the Browns into 31st place yesterday in points per game. And by the way, they only needed to score 10 to get there, or whatever the hell they scored. The Browns are dead last in points per game. It is the worst offense, one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in my life. From top to bottom, coaching staff, talent, execution, all of it. It's horrible.
And that's when the analysts jumped in. The moment Stefanski's comments went public, the debate reignited, and this time there was no hesitation. Almost every major Browns analyst agreed. It's time for Shedeur Sanders. Garrett Bush, one of the most respected voices covering the Browns, came out swinging. He said Stefanski has now realized the stark contrast between Dillon Gabriel, who he called an average quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders, who he described as a once-in-a-generation talent.
The most impressive I've seen with the Cleveland Browns offense has been the game Shador played against the Panthers when he had no reps, storing the trash cans, and he came in dropping dimes. It's a difference. You mimic in one, and the other is the creativity behind it. And everybody ain't got it. Some people ain't got that quality, that star quality, where I could hook up in the middle, and some people ain't got that. That's a God-given ability.
Bush reminded fans that the Browns' offense looked its best when Shedeur was under center during the Panthers game. It wasn't just about stats. It was about energy, confidence and rhythm, the team looked alive. The fans felt hope again. And now, watching that energy fade away under Gabriel's leadership, it's becoming clear. The wrong quarterback is starting. Then came Mary Kay Catt, a well-known and respected Browns insider, and she didn't mince her words either. She said, Shedeur Sanders is the best passer in the game at the moment. That's a powerful statement, especially when it comes from someone who's covered the team for years and understands how rarely natural passing talent comes along. According to her, Sanders brings something that Gabriel just doesn't: pure accuracy, natural touch, and unshakable composure. She emphasized that Sanders doesn't just throw the ball, he places it right where it needs to be, with confidence and precision. Mary Kay also urged the Browns to trust Sanders' readiness. She said, the time for waiting is over. The team's window for success is closing, and continuing to gamble on inconsistency could cost them the entire season.
So what is their average now? 17, 16, and 13 points. So they're averaging whatever that is, 14 and a half or something like that points per game.
Inside the Browns facility, players are feeling the shift too. When a coach publicly expresses frustration like this, it doesn't just affect one player. It shapes the entire locker room. Players start wondering who's next, what changes are coming, and whether leadership itself is crumbling. But what's interesting here is that many of the younger players reportedly want Shedeur Sanders to step in. There's a certain spark about him, that energy, that calm confidence, the same kind that great quarterbacks carry. And it's becoming obvious that the locker room needs that. Because right now, the Browns don't just need a quarterback who can throw. They need a leader who can inspire. And that's something Shedeur Sanders has been quietly preparing to do since the day he arrived.
It's time for the Jets to acquire Shedeur Sanders from the Cleveland Browns. And someone tell me why that's a bad idea. And I don't want to hear about it's a circus. It's a circus? What's this? What the hell is this that we're watching? Circus! That's a circus. Bad, crappy football is a circus. The Jets should have drafted this guy, I don't know, second, third, fourth. They got a million opportunities to draft him. He has not gotten an opportunity in Cleveland. I don't really care about the Cleveland Browns, so I'm not going to fight their battles. I'll let Josina Anderson take care of that. All I'm saying is I see a talent, a guy I think we all talked about him as a guy that could at least be a serviceable starting quarterback in the NFL. They are not giving him a chance in Cleveland.
So here we are, the turning point. The Browns are sitting on a decision that could define their entire season, maybe even Kevin Stefanski's future as head coach. The fan base is growing impatient. The analysts are united, and the front office is feeling the pressure. Even within team circles, whispers are getting louder. When will Shedeur get his chance? It's no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And after Stefanski's fiery comments, many believe that moment might be closer than ever. Because once a coach publicly admits that his quarterback is not the solution, it's nearly impossible to go back. Let's put it into perspective. Dillon Gabriel came into this role with promise, accuracy, quick release, mobility. But the transition to the NFL has exposed every weakness. He's struggled with decision-making under pressure, often holding the ball too long or misreading coverages. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders has shown elite-level poise. When he's on the field, everything slows down. His mechanics are clean, his reads are sharp, and most importantly, he plays with confidence. That's why so many analysts are calling him the Browns' best chance at salvation. Fans can feel it, analysts can see it, and now, even the coach seems to sense it. The numbers might not tell the full story, but the body language does. And Shedeur's body language screams QB1. So what happens next? All eyes are on Kevin Stefanski. He's at a crossroads. A coach who must decide whether to protect his pride or protect his team. Will he double down on Dillon Gabriel and risk losing both games and locker room trust? Or will he take the bold step and put his faith in Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback who's shown he has everything it takes to lead? Because at this point, the Browns aren't just fighting for wins. They're fighting for their identity, their confidence, and maybe even their season. The Browns' fate now hangs in the balance. Kevin Stefanski's frustration has ripped open a wound that can't be ignored anymore. Dillon Gabriel's struggles are undeniable, and the pressure to turn to Shedeur Sanders has reached a breaking point. Will the Browns finally make the switch and give Shedeur the chance fans know he deserves? Or will pride and hesitation cost them everything? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. So buckle up, Browns Nation, because the next game could change everything.